twice today.
Yep, you're doing well.
My greatest pleasure in pre-cabinet this morning was listening to you talking about a Joseph's coat, Stuart.
Oh, did I actually say that?
Yes, it's one of my favourite of your phrases. So I noticed the webcast is now on, so we can pick up on that point later on, can't we?
Okay. Yes.
But I'll just raise it as a matter of accuracy on the one report.
Thank you, Julia.
Okay. So I think we'll just give it a moment or two whilst everybody joins. I think the leader is down to chair this meeting, so. I'll just give it a moment.
Hello, everybody. Apologies for being a little late. I was caught on another meeting. Do we have everybody present? Who's taking notes for this meeting?
Yeah, good afternoon, Chair. It's me, Zach. Yeah, we're just missing Councillor Price, but I have received an email from him to say that he can only attend for the first half an hour because he's got another urgent meeting to attend. So I'll submit his apologies if he doesn't join.
Okay. Right. Are we live, Zach?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. All right. Agenda. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Property Subcommittee of today, Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021. First item on the agenda is apologies for absence. Zach?
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, as I've just said, everyone's attended apart from Councillor Price, who might not be able to attend. So I'll submit his apologies.
Okay. Item number 2 is declarations of interest. Do we have any declarations of interest?
None.
None. Okay. If you do, then just use the hand function, and I'll assume none. Otherwise, there are no hands being raised, so therefore I will assume that we have no declarations of interest. The minutes of the meeting held on the 3rd of February. Can I have those sign those as a correct record of that meeting, please?
I'll second that, Chairman.
Thank you very much indeed. Then agenda item number 4 is lease of sites to academies. The first one is entitled, rather intriguingly, miscellaneous sites. Councillor Deville, we're with you.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. The miscellaneous sites are firstly to grant an underlease from Thomas Russell Junior School in Needwood. Chairman, so very pleased that we have a local member here. To Little Stars Preschool and Nursery for a 3-year period. And the second miscellaneous item is to grant an underlease from Birds Bush Primary School in Tamworth to, again, Little Stars Preschool and Nursery for a 5-year period, Chairman. I think Stuart is on the call. I think Stuart's with us on the meeting. If you'd like to add anything to these 2 proposals, Stuart.
Thank you very much, Mark. No, they're relatively simple. We don't allow underleasing as a presumption when we're with academies. Both these underleases effectively continue what already exists and would be beneficial to the local communities which they serve. Forgive me, there is I'll preempt what Councillor Jessel might be saying in a moment. There is a slight incorrection with one, that it's not part of the John Taylor MAT, because there are 2 Thomas Russell schools, and we've unfortunately a slight error in drafting. So thank you, Julia.
Okay, Mr. Lane, is that error material?
No, it's just not part of the John Taylor MAT.
Okay, thank you. Before I bring Councillor Jesselin as the local member and also a member of this committee. Can I just confirm that, Mr. Turner, any observations? Anything further to add prior to us making the decision? No. The valuation?
No, nothing from me, Mr. Chairman.
Legal? Head of legal, John Tradewell is shaking his head, but is there anybody from your department on, John?
Yes, I think there is.
Yes, hi there, it's Maya. No comment.
Thank you. Councillor Jessel, we're with you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. No, I'm happy to support the application, and thank you, Stuart, for pointing out the error. The other error, slightly tongue-in-cheek, is they keep spelling my name incorrectly. It's Jessel with one L. But I'm very happy to support this.
Zach, do we have any input from the other local member, please?
Yes, I have had an email from, I'm just pulling it up now, from Councillor Clements, just saying happy to support the application for the lease for Little Stars to be renewed for another 5 years. They're an amazing group who have helped so many toddlers to get ready for school life.
Great. So we're clear with all aspects of this transaction. Mr. DeVille, we're back with you.
Yeah, many thanks, Chairman, and thanks for the comments from Mrs. Jessel and from Mrs. Clements. The recommendations, Chairman, which I'll read if you don't mind for transparency and for administration. The recommendations are that the underletting of the classroom and playing area at Thomas Russell Junior School and the underletting of the nursery building at Birds Bush Primary School shall be permitted subject to A, Little Stars Preschool and Little Stars Nursery entering a licence to underlet with the council, with the form of underlease annexed to the licence. B, the underlease containing an absolute prohibition on assignment of further subletting. C, Chairman, the underlease containing a covenant that the Academy will comply with the terms and covenants contained in the head lease. And finally, Chairman, condition D, that the Little Stars Preschool and Little Stars Nurseries agreement to pay the council's costs in preparing, negotiating and completing the licence to underlet. They're the recommendations for consideration, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Councillor DeVille. It has been so moved. Councillor Jessel, you are indicating, is this?
I just want to check that item C of the recommendation is correct in the fact that one school is an academy and the other isn't, in view of that correction. Just wanted to make sure.
Mr. Turner, Assistant Director, comment please. Mr. Turner.
Yeah, sorry, just taking myself off mute. In terms of item C of the recommendation, was that Councillor Preston?
Yes, it just refers to the academy. Of course, on the report, both locations are referred to as academies, but the one isn't. The Thomas Russell Junior School is not an academy. It's not an academy. I'm sorry to be a little bit pedantic, but it's just.
No, you're right.
Yeah, okay. That's an error in the report then, because on the schedule it does say it converted on the 1st of April 2016. So I'm afraid I've taken that information at face value, and you have me at a disadvantage. If indeed it isn't an academy, then the recommendation needs to be altered accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, can I suggest an alternative recommendation is that we delegate to the Cabinet Member, Councillor DeVille, the authority to make the recommendation subject to ratification of the precise wording of the current recommendation as framed.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that modification to recommendations, Chairman. Mr. Tradewell, any comments? Are you happy with that? If so, then we can proceed.
Yes, very happy with that, Chair.
Okay, I move a modified recommendation delegating to the Cabinet Member for Commercial the ability to make this decision based on the current set out recommendations being appropriately reworded to reflect the circumstances we've got. I've gone all waffly, I'm sorry about that, but you get the gist.
Yes.
Absolutely, Chairman. Absolutely.
Everybody in favour?
Aye.
Yes,
Any
Chairman.
against?
Aye.
Abstentions? There be none. Okay, moving on then to agenda item 4B. Councillor DeVille, we're with you again.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, this is a straightforward one. It's Redbrook Hayes Community Primary School in Rugeley, and the proposal is to grant a new lease to the school without taking into consideration the library area. Stuart, please.
Thank you, Mark. It's very simple. We built a new school there some years ago. It converted to an academy. There was an error made when we didn't omit the library from the original academy transfer. It was drawn to our attention some time ago that the actual library was part of the school. The school are happy that we removed the library from the lease and resubmit the lease. So it's simply that we retain the library. It's integral with the school, and I think it's coloured blue on the attached plan. It's at the back of the school. So it's a public library.
Thank you very much. Assistant Director for Commercial and Assets, anything to add prior to making the decision?
No, I've nothing to add.
Valuation?
No, nothing from me, Mr. Chairman.
Legal?
No, nothing from legal. Thank you, Chairman.
Do we have any local member input, Zach?
No, I've not had any.
Back to you, Councillor DeVille, for the recommendation, please.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chairman. So the recommendation, if I may read it, Chairman, is that the existing lease, very simply, that the existing lease be surrendered and the new lease be granted to vary the extent of the demise to exclude the library and enter into an agreement between the Academy and the Council regarding any shared services, Chairman. I move the recommendation.
It has been moved. All those in favour?
Aye. Yes.
Any against? Any abstentions? It's unanimously moved. Agenda item 4C, Councillor DeVille, you're back on. You're doing tremendously well today.
On. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. It's very kind of you. Kings, we're in Kidsgrove, Chairman, now. Move up to the north to Kidsgrove. Kings Church of England school at Kidsgrove. It's the former Clough Hall Technical College, and it's a transfer of part of the site to the diocese, to the Lichfield Diocese. The remainder of the site, which is mostly playing fields, green space, to be transferred to the Academy. And also, Chairman, I think it's important that the agreement also looked at the rights to enable access to the neighbouring Kidsgrove Leisure Centre. Stuart, is there any other matters to discuss here? Further information?
No, it's thank you, Mark. No, it's not. It's exactly as you spoke. There is rights across the existing that's been retained for the leisure centre to gain access under certain circumstances where they need to address issues in the current plant room, and that will be granted as part of the lease. The school are happy with that, obviously given sufficient notice and the rest of it. But other than that, it did get a little bit difficult because the original school was demolished, hence the footprint of the building that we're transferring to the diocese. And so what was once playing fields is now a school, and what was once a school is now playing fields.
Yeah,
And so it has taken a little bit of time to resolve. The school are now becoming a part of a multi-academy trust, and this just facilitates that and allows the diocese to retain their interest in the footprint of the building.
Thank you. The Assistant Director of Commercial and Assets, anything to add before we make this decision?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Valuation?
No, nothing from me, Mr. Chairman.
Legal?
Nothing from legal, thank you.
Zach, have we had any local member input, please?
No.
Sorry. Short to the point. That'll be a no then. We're back with you, Councillor DeVille.
Thank you, Chairman. So the recommendation is that we would transfer of part of the site to the Lichfield Diocese Board of Education, and a lease of the remainder of the site to the Three Spires Trust or such other academy nominated by the DFE, together with a deed of easement to grant further access rights over this site for the benefit of the adjoining leisure centre, Chairman. I so move.
The recommendation has been moved. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Agreed.
Any against? Any abstentions? Unanimously approved. Thank you, Mr. DeVille. We are back with you again. Councillor
Thank
DeVille,
you.
agenda item 4D.
Thank you, Chairman. So we had slightly south to Stone. I think a straightforward area of work again, Chairman. It's the Manor Hill First School in Stone, and recommendation is around the transfer of land from Persimmon Homes to Staffordshire County Council for a really important extension of the school, and to enter into standard academy lease of the site as per normal, Chairman. Stuart?
Yep, pretty straightforward. Housing development, there's enough space in the school as it stands, but there isn't enough external space. So there's a lump of what was the housing site that's now become school playing fields, and it's just so the school can ensure there's sufficient outside space for the additional children to enjoy. And it's a simple transfer of that. I think it's all set out on site, all ready to go.
Thank you. We've got a bit of an echo on the line. Assistant Director for Commercial and Assets, anything to add before we move forward with the decision?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Valuation?
No, nothing from me, Mr. Chairman.
Legal?
Nothing from legal, thank you, Chairman.
Zach, have we had any local member input?
Again, no.
Can you confirm that the local member has been consulted?
Yes.
Thank you. In the absence of any local member input, any comments from members of the committee? There being none, back to you, Mr. DeVille.
Thank you, Chairman. So the recommendation is that the completion of the transfer of the site from Persimmon Homes Limited to Staffordshire County Council, in accordance with the terms of the S106 agreement dated 16th of February 2015, as varied, and the grant of a 125-year academy lease to this site. I so move it, Chairman.
You've heard the recommendations, ladies and gentlemen. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Agreed.
Any against? Any abstentions? That's unanimously carried. Thank you very much indeed, Councillor DeVille. Good effort.
Thank you.
Moving on then to agenda item number 5, exclusion of the public. I move that the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business which involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in the paragraph of Part 1 of Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972 indicated below. I move.